All right, hey guys, hope you had a good time watching the absolute strength to absolute speed continuum. If you haven't watched that video, definitely watch that first because this video is going to build upon what we learned in that video and what we covered. This video is going to cover the strength, speed, endurance continuum. So it's taking the absolute ceiling and the abilities we raise of maximizing absolute force production, absolute speed production, now trying to build out on that and trying to see what the repetitions we can get to enhance its ability to endure and continue those qualities. So we're going to go again from absolute strength, endurance, then strength, speed, endurance rather, speed, strength, endurance, absolute speed, endurance, and then we have a fifth one here of just local muscle endurance is a limiter here for the endurance part. So on this spectrum, we broke it down into three different areas: reps, sets, and loads. We'll go over some examples here in a minute. So again, on absolute strength, that was our body's ability to produce force, maximal force, in kind of a slower setting. So deadlift, back squat, pressing were the big ones we went over there. Not the strength, speed, or speed strength Olympic-based movements or speed-based movements. They're going to have heavier or lighter loads. So these will be the really heavy ones. For the endurance quality, total reps we're looking for would be about 5 to 50 reps done in sets of 1 to 10. So it just is going to vary in that range of what you're looking for strength endurance. And you're going to be looking for your total load and reps here for the training qualities of that. Load's going to be generally 65 to 90% of your max. Under really 60-65%, we see that it's not going to be tapping in to the absolute strength qualities we need. The CNS isn't activated the same. The bar can move a lot faster. The implement can move a lot faster, so it won't really be increasing your absolute strength, let alone your absolute strength endurance for this type of training. This might be something where we're doing heavy sets of 10 back squats, 3 sets of 10 with a shorter rest. Obviously, that's not absolute strength. We wanted to be within 1 to 5 reps there for our sets. We're building out on the sets here at 10 or even maybe 1 set of 20 there. 2 would be probably the max, but if you've done heavy sets of 20, 1, you're done, right? And it's really, for that, it's hard to be too high here. 70% for 20 is pretty challenging. So that's why really 10 would be good. If you've done open prep with us, there's a deadlift progression we use for the open every year. And it's not an absolute strength progression, it's absolute strength endurance. And it's where we start to slowly build up your reps and sets on your deadlifts. Say we start at, like 10 at 50, 10 at 60%. Now we're at 8 at 65. We're getting into some working sets, right? Next week it's 8 at 65, 6 at 70%, 1 every 2 minutes. Now it's 4. We start to slowly build up every week on that to build the absolute strength endurance, because that comes up for people. So that's the idea we're doing there, is getting everyone ready for those type of workouts. Number 2 would be strength, speed, endurance. It's similar reps and sets here, 5 to 50, 1 to 10. The load's even the same. The difference is going to be in the exercise selection. Right, these are going to be generally our heavier Olympic lifts, most likely our full lifts. They can be the power position lifts, of course, but relative to your overall max, going super heavy on powers for some people can be challenging to get in that range where the full lifts generally allow to have a heavier load done. But it can be power cleans for sure, but a lot of times these end up here in speed strength workouts. Examples of some testers that come up would be doing 90% of your 1 rep power clean for 8 minutes, right? What does that look like? Clean, dump, recharge, clean, dump, wait 20 seconds. Again, famous one, 77% of your 1 rep max snatch for 25 reps, right? Full snatch, boom, down, reset, right? Trying to make sure your CNS is recharging and you're not getting sloppy. Also, your body's ability to produce force is recharging. So you see those are both above those ranges here, and in the rep ranges too we're looking for. That's why those would be strength, speed, endurance ways to do it. And obviously we have ways to train this where we do maybe a rep every 30 seconds at 75% of your max for 5 minutes. You're building up on that, right? So there's different ways we would do that to build. That's what we're looking for to help your CP battery and your strength, speed, endurance. We'll get more into CP battery stuff in our next video. Third up, speed, strength, endurance. We're increasing reps now. And we're increasing reps because sets are more and load is less. Now we're staying underneath that 65%. And again, it's not a hard line. See that these two kind of all blend together, because the difference here in the absolute strength speed video was load, right? The loading was different. The rep ranges and movements were, the movements were similar. Rep ranges, because of the loading, were changed. So here we have more reps to work from. We can have more sets. We can have more reps per set if we wanted. Obviously, that would mean the load is going down. If we're keeping reps up and sets up, that means reps will be low, right? If you're doing 15 sets of 5, that puts us at 75 reps, and 15 sets, you're probably closer to 65% of your max, 60% of your max. If you're doing 15 reps at a time for 5 sets, I'll bet you're closer to, 30, 40, 50% of your max there. And what workouts does this look like? Grace, right? There's a reason why when someone maxes 150, Grace crushes them, because that's really a strength speed workout. But for most people, if they're been around the block for a while, what Grace should be, we're looking around 3 to 5 minutes for them, right? Not 8 minutes. So that means the load should be hopefully under 2/3 of their max. So I would want someone to clean and jerk 200 pounds to be able to do Grace as a speed strength workout. Now, if they cleaned 160, that would be a good strength, speed, endurance workout. So that's why it's important for us to know their ranges. Same with DT. While Grace is 30 reps, DT is a lot more. It may even actually be more than that, or right around that rep range, right? So we know the loading needs to be down for them to do it well. So I want an even bigger clean and jerk for them to be able to do it at 155. All right? So those, I'd also say weighted chest to bar kipping pull-ups could be speed strength. For moving fast, there's a small external load. So when people want to do stuff with their weight vest, I'm looking first at how good is their absolute strength, and then how good is their absolute strength endurance, right? How good is their 1 rep max weighted pull-up, right? Is it really good? Can they do a couple weighted pull-ups every minute for, say, 10 minutes? Can they do that? Good. Can they keep going down the chain? Now they have good strength, speed, endurance, and maybe that's a really heavy kipping pull-up close to their max, right? We're at like 85% of their max for reps or something with a weighted kipping pull-up. So they're trying to move it fast, not slow, like it would be for a strict weighted pull-up. You see the difference there? I'm talking about this would be strict and slow. They're trying to move it fast. And again, not that I would program a lot of kipping weighted chest to bar pull-ups for strength speed, but that's how you do it. If that was an issue someone needed to have and they wanted to do a workout with 75 or 100 kipping pull-ups, that is strength, speed, endurance. So we know we're pushing it pretty high there to have a weight vest. So I would want to make sure those things are good. So that way when they're coming down, they're eccentric, they're handling it well, they're also getting the expression of that workout they would need. Fourth, absolute speed endurance. Right, so absolute speed before was moving our body as quickly as we can with low or no additional load. Here the reps are high, 5 to 100 reps, right? 1 to 20 sets, no external load. This is stuff like short sprint repeats, bounding, jump repeat, box jump repeats on this. So open workout, if someone has trouble with bounding box jumps, that would be absolute speed endurance they need to work, right? And what do we have to look at? We look at, well, hey, how good can you do 15 hang power cleans, maybe at 30% before I have them do 15 unbroken box jumps rebounding. And then I would have them do that at a heavier load here with a hang power clean for strength speed. And I'm looking at how good is their deadlift, how good is their back squat to handle their body. So we're always working back up the chain to look at everyone's numbers. So that's why when I say, hey, for this workout, most people don't need to be doing rebounding box jumps. That's how we're analyzing that. And that's why we're looking at it that way. To make sure they fill in the gaps here before they get to here. And then finally, we have local muscle endurance, which is kind of its own funny thing because it doesn't fit the regular continuum, but it is important because this is going to be stuff we do where local, specific areas of your body will burn out before the whole chain burns out, right? So it may be push-ups in your tricep. You just can't get your tricep to lock out. It happens a lot of times on muscle-ups. You're through the middle and you're done a bunch and you just can't get that lockout there. That is local muscle endurance. Reps, 10 to 50, right? This is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, where this would be limited. Remember, for our absolute strength was myofibular hypertrophy, right? How much of a contraction can we make and how long can we make this contraction happen down here? 10 to 50 reps, 1 to 10 sets, really low load, 0 to 65. We're trying to stay away from tapping into the CNS on these areas. Above 65 is kind of when that starts to happen. And this is functional bodybuilding, right? Bodybuilding stuff. This is, curls, baby, skull crushers, GHD sit-ups, good mornings, that type of thing. We're going here for local muscle endurance where we're wanting to really attack a specific part of your body and be able to isolate that to help whatever weak part in this chain needs to be helped. And that again is the absolute strength endurance continuum. So it goes absolute strength endurance to absolute speed endurance with local muscle endurance there at the end, that one body part is kind of just burning out. And you'll see that in different people you work with or in your own workouts once you start kind of looking at it this way. And I hope that helps, and stay tuned for the next video where we tie this together into conditioning.